open up with the scripture. Romans 5. It goes, not only that, but we rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that our sufferings produce endurance, endurance produces character, character produces hope, and hope does not put us to shame, because God's love has been poured into our hearts through the Holy Spirit who has been given to us. My name is Angel. That portion of scripture stuck out to me because it's kind of like my life, you know, and all of us, we deal with trials and tribulations and things that we go through, but something that's kept me motivated to moving forward in life. So I'll tell you, I'm a little nervous, so I'm a little shaky. I grew up in Roxbury. You guys know where that is? Probably not. Yeah. All right. So it's the hood. It's the hood. It's the ghetto. So it was tough, you know. My mom and I grew up in a broken home. You know, my mom was an addict. My dad, he was a drinker. My grandmother raised me with my dad. I was like 2 years old, living in the streets of Mission Hill. And as I grew up, I seen kids, you know, doing gang things and like, you know, shootings and stuff like that, but that's not the direction my life went, you know. I had a gift, and I do believe God has blessed me with the gift of playing football. I was an athlete. So fast forward to going to high school, like, mind you, from 12 to like 16, this kid's going crazy, you know, getting shot, and, you know, things are going crazy, but I didn't fall into that. I didn't start smoking weed or doing any of those things until I went to high school, which was in Malden High School. It was a suburban school. So it was a different environment, kind of like something you see in TV, and I wasn't used to it. It was intimidating. About 1,800 students. I was that kid in my neighborhood that always had a football in his hand. You know, out of my siblings, like, everybody's saying, like, why is he always holding the football? And my older brother would tell them, he's like, because he wants to get out of here, you know? He wants to make something of himself. And going into high school, I had so much peer pressure, so much, like Krista said, like, you know, she wanted to be accepted. Me, I was popular, I was good at football, I was like, you know, the guy, you know? And it was a lot of pressure, you know. I had a lot to deal with. Like, I didn't know what crowd to go to. Like, it was just a lot of directions to go, you know. Could have kept playing football, go to high school, probably playing the NFL, or, you know, hang out with the party crew, drink beer, smoke weed, and I got sidetracked and I chose to hang out with those crowds. And from there, like, it opened the door to other things. It started with marijuana, drinking, staying out late, not coming home because I gotta come home to parents who are always drinking. Not to say that, they raised me good, you know, because I am who I am today, but it wasn't the best environment, so I never wanted to be home. Started doing harder drugs. I won't get into the specifics, but you name it, I did it, you know. Ruined my life. Like, when I say I was an addict, I mean I was an addict. I was stealing to support my habit, in and out of jail. Actually, one of the ways I came into the program was by the transporter. They dropped me off in front of the doorsteps of the program. And before that, the third time I was in jail, I did 3 months the first time, and then the last time, I was like, God, why? You know, I read the word the first time, but I got out and got exposed to the real world. I didn't have a real foundation to go to. I just got back. I went to a different program. It wasn't a Christ-centered program. That's probably why, because there was too many distractions. So I went back to jail because I was distracted and I wasn't in the Word. Second time, got out, did the same thing, got sectioned, had an overdose. First overdose I ever had. Cried out to my probation officer. She sectioned me. And then the third time was, I was determined to make it the last time. And I prayed, I cried out, God help me. you know, lead me in the right direction you want me to go. Excuse me, sorry. And the third time was, I was determined to make it the last time. My life was horrible. And these guys here, these guys are amazing, man. They lift me up, they encourage me. You know, like, these are my brothers here. Each and every one of them. And I'm just so thankful to be a part of it. And, you know, I graduated the program April 19th. You know, like my scripture says, you know, like, I can't move forward if I'm looking back, you know what I mean? I have to keep pushing forward. And I have hope for the future, you know, like God's gonna, if I stay in the Word, if I stay encouraged, if I stay with positive, like-minded individuals who want to succeed, then, you know, I'm gonna go somewhere, and I do believe that. But the confidence that you see in me is because of Christ, because I know what He's done for us, and it's a blessing, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks, man.